Good day, everyone. Welcome back. Very excited to bring you an interview here, a few minutes of an interview I did with three of the four women heading over to do the Hyrox European Championships. I messaged Dr. Alandra Greenlee, Meg Jacoby, and Lauren Weeks, and Tara Jackson this morning. Was able to get a hold of all of them, but only three of them were able to make this call. So what's going to happen is a podcast will be up tomorrow with this entire conversation, including with Tara after. But want to go ahead and bring this to you today for the YouTube watchers out there. I think you'll enjoy it, and we get to look at Lauren's very, very cute baby, and you learn about a very special event happening in Chicago that has yet to be announced publicly. Let's get to it. Away we go. I feel like you play it pretty close to the vest there, Alandra. So if I asked you like your strategy for this race coming up, you probably wouldn't tell us, right?
Oh, no, I'm just there to have a good time.
See, Meg would tell
I
me though.
think
Meg, what's your
Alandra-
strategy?
I think Alandra is a super sneaky competitor. I don't mean that in a negative. I mean, like, I think she's underestimated a lot. And I think, like, when I've seen her perform, I'm always super impressed. And she was on my ass in that mile at the end. So, like, I have very strong, like, confidence in Alandra because I've raced her. So I know what she's got. So, and it's impressive. And I would say too, Alandra runs a lot better than I think people think. Like, I think she's way faster than people give her credit for in running, especially. So props. I don't know. I like running in the front. You know, I think Lauren does too. I think we're similar in that way. I feel confident there. So, I mean, if I'm going to be in the mix, I feel like that's what I have to do, you know, but I feel good about that. So, yeah.
So so the other ones you've done, whatever strategy you went in with, that's what there's nothing like, oh, I think holding back here or pacing myself differently here, or the runs are different here. Like Megan, you're going like with the same. Have you learned anything? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was too conservative in New York, actually. And it's also just like getting to know myself as an athlete kind of in this type of event has also been like cool to experience. And I think now I know like I can hang. So I think I definitely would approach it differently like than the first race. Chicago was unique because I was literally solo like almost the whole time. Vivian was second in like 107, 108. So I mean, when you're talking about like stations, like I was on my own on most of the stations.
Right.
So in that aspect, it was very much just like mind over matter. So just two completely different races. And then like I screwed up New York, obviously. I think Alandra and I really would have, I mean, I think we already were pushing each other, but if I didn't screw the lap up, we would have obviously been like physically closer to each other. Because since I messed the lap, it's like then I ended up being like a little bit ahead. So then we weren't always on the same thing. But if I didn't do that, I think she and I would have been like toe to toe for a lot of it, or like all of it. So,
well,
I don't know. So it's interesting.
And Lauren, you're obviously the most experienced. You've done it. You've done it a little pregnant. You've done it very pregnant. Now here we are. I don't know how many months. How old is your little baby?
She's 6 months.
6 months. So
6 months.
So how is your strategy changed, or has it? And what are you looking at for this one?
So I'm kind of still learning like my new capabilities and limits where they are. I like whether or not it's a strategy, like I can't turn it off to not go out hot. Like I just like I've tried. Like I have tried. I just can't. I don't know. Like I get super excited and then they like play this music and I just go and I can't hold back. So whether or not that's a smart strategy, it doesn't matter because I can't stop it. I do personally hold back a little bit on the skier because I've noticed that if I push like just a little bit too much on it, like I'm exhausted for the rest of the race. So I don't really care too much about showing my strategy. I do pull back a little bit there because I know if I go too hard on like that station, then the rest of my race is kind of a fight, and I don't really want to fight from minutes 5 on.
Do you think we should ever change it? We should ever change order of those stations, or is Hyrox perfect how it is? Would you like to see it change in any way over time? Not just stations, but order of stations, maybe different workouts. What do you think?
I mean, I love change. Like I'd love to see like different workouts, different stations. But I wouldn't want to see this version go away. I think like they put so much into it, and like there's such a big community around it. I feel like this should be the staple, but I would love to see like different variations and just be like, hey, if you come to this race, like we're gonna do it this way, and it's just like another draw. Like, oh, I want to try that.
Right. Well, we just need to get Yancey over there, right? Yancey can be like, all right, we're gonna do the Hyrox mile, we're gonna do the Hyrox heavy, we're gonna do the Hyrox broccoli and cheese, right?
He seems pretty busy right now, or I'm sure he'd be all over it.
What about you two? What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it would be very cool to see kind of like how DECA has the 3 different, same stations, but like different runs. I think it'd be super cool to do like a Hyrox sprint and like have it be like shorter runs. I also think I think it would have appeal to maybe a broader, base of people. I think the CrossFitters the true CrossFitters might be more interested, just because 8K is obviously a pretty significant amount of running. So, that I think that would be cool, but keep the stations the same. Like, I think that'd be a neat experience.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's almost a word.
As far as as far as for me, I think it would be super cool to let the women do the men's weight once. I would sign up for that. I want to see if those sleds are really as heavy as they pretend they are. I don't think they are.
Yeah, I like that.
That sounds like a gauntlet. I mean, listen, there's nothing stopping you from just like going in that wave. I mean, I don't think anybody would kick you out. You know what I mean? Like,
don't tell anybody. I'd rather ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
That's my whole life. Are you kidding me? I've never asked for permission in my life.
That New York one, it's a 2-day. Are the guys and the girls on a separate day? Like, you might be able to pull that off.
The Pro Heat, they're on the same day.
Oh, dang.
But there's a lot of fun options there as far as like the relays, because the individuals is on Saturday and the other one's on Sunday.
All right, I'm going to let you guys go shortly. I want to ask Lauren, how's your husband's training going?
I mean, he's trying. He's definitely been putting in more effort since you guys made this bet. He's been getting up early. He gets up now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, watch out.
Wait, is he training for Hyrox? What is he training for?
To beat Matt in a burrito 5K.
I can't believe you haven't heard of this. It's the news that's sweeping the nation. It's going down in Chicago. We're gonna map out, someplace right around the facility, and hopefully it'll be live streamed. And he's got a lot of advantages on me. He's younger. He's he wrestled. I mean, he's a super athlete. But I'm gonna go for it. I'm still gonna put up my best fight.
I think it'll still be a good race.
No, I think it'll be a great race. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you are not just a YouTube listener, follower person, but also like the podcast, man, we do podcasts every bloody week. We do typically 2, at least one called OCR Weekly Show, where we go over news of the week with a special guest. And there's usually a couple, 1 or 2 interviews that happen later in the week. People are really enjoying this book of OCR series we're doing, where we're going through the history of OCR and talking about the beginnings of Tough Mudder, the beginnings of Spartan. We're going to cover Superhero and Atlas and Battle Frog and all the great races, Atlas race, all the ones that came before us. So be sure to check out the podcast for that. Also, if you're enjoying this content, great time to be on that Patreon train. We've got some contests. We give away some gooders for Strava stuff. We're giving you advanced copies of things, advanced content stuff. I'm trying to think of words that I can't think of, but I do love you. I do miss you. I do mean it. I have got to run.